Now, who's that rope for, Miss Dunn?
Weekly. What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, look! Isn't that Cassidy?
Don't change the subject, you sad little...
Why don't we settle this over ice cream, huh, John? Just like in the good old days.
How did you get up here? I don't want anyone to see you. Everyone, even the most hapless of creatures, has a gift. Something that makes them special, that makes them worth knowing. Foul-smelling Weekly is no exception. No matter what he does, it's impossible to stay mad at him for too long.
This bourbon shake is delicious. Want a taste?
You know I don't like milk.
Your loss. So, Joe Dunn hangs himself and leaves his gym to his daughter, which makes her the first woman to run a boxing gym, I think.
I don't think Dunn killed himself.
What? Do you have a suspect? Any leads?
No, it's just a hunch. Although I haven't identified the murderer just yet. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's just a hunch. I wouldn't bet my life on it. I've got other suspects, like O'Leary, bookmaker.
Desmond O'Leary? The same O'Leary who used to date Helen Moore? America's sweetheart? Now that's a woman.
And then there's the Walrus. Who was that guy?
Come on. You've never heard of Frank Cassidy? The president of the Boxing Managers Association?
Who's also Stone's agent, Bobby Yale's rival.
Hey, he might have a motive, right? He might know something about Dunn's death, right?
I decided to ask Weekly to investigate Cassidy. My reasons? Weekly was right. Cassidy could have had a motive to kill Dunn. Weekly had already proven to be nosy. The farther I kept him from the gym, the better. But with Weekly, you just never know what the best approach might be. Should I give him an order, or a subtle suggestion? Yeah, you might be right about Cassidy. But, it won't be easy to make him talk. He seems like a pretty tough cookie. Only a thorough and efficient detective could pull it off. But the problem is, I already got enough on my plate.
You're a lucky man, John Blacksad.
I don't follow.
You just found the thorough detective you need.
Oh, of course. What a great idea. How did I not think of you?
Hey, don't sweat it. But you'll have to do me a favor. Tell Sonia Dunn that a legendary journalist from What's News wants an interview.
Weekly, please.
Well, if not, bye-bye, Cassidy.
You know, there's a third option. What if I tell Sonia to sue you for spying on her?
You wouldn't.
Try me.
Okay, you win.
By the way, I never told you what happened to Colbert, did I?
No. What happened?
The rhinoceros came by and offered me money to keep quiet.
Wow. Are we talking petty cash or big bucks?
The latter.
That's my boy. Good job, Blacksad.
Your boy Blacksad didn't take the money.
What?
Listen, Weekly.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't the right thing to do. Yada, yada, yada.
So, was there really someone on the roof?
No one. I must be seeing things.
A hallucinating detective. This must be my lucky day.
Dunn kept files on the gym's staff and clients. Name, address, and date of birth. Did you and your father get along?
Let's just say our relationship got better when I left for Sunny University. An 8-hour drive from here.
Meaning?
I'll lay it out for you, Mr. Blacksad. My father, Joe Dunn, disappeared the day my mother died. He became a shell of himself. Joe Dunn, my legal guardian. A man who gave me food, shelter, clothing, and an education. and that's more than you need to know.
I saw you arguing with a guy named Cassidy. What did he want?
Remember the fight that needs to take place in order to save this gym?
Well, Cassidy manages Yale's rival, Stone, the reigning champion.
If Bobby doesn't show up, he'll lose money. Maybe not a lot, but enough to care.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Seemed like a happy family. I'd like to take a look inside that safe now. Could you give me the combination?
I'd love to help you, but my mother's birthday used to be the combination, but I already tried it.
Dunn's room had quite a view. Dunn kept files on the gym's staff and clients. Name, address, and date of birth. Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Looks like Dunn liked to measure his daughter and Bobby Yale each year. Sonia's measurements stop at 18, and there's a gap in Bobby's between ages 15 and 17. I remember that fight, back when Jake was coming up the ranks. Do you remember anything else about the day you found the thingamajig with the springs and the paint can?
Yeah, no. Wait, yeah. Well, no, now that I think of it, no. Hey, pal, how about thanking a good-looking goat with a cigarette?
I don't think that's a good idea. You've got one nasty cough.
Oh, come on. You know, cigarettes have lots of very healthy properties. Oh, come on. It's just a smoke, lady.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, you think you're not responsible for my pathetic state? Think you're not to blame? It's the government that shipped me off to war.
They shipped me off too.
Oh, right. So then you know what it's like to kill too. Well, then another sad hobo shouldn't be a problem for you, Professor.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay, I understand. Wait, but that's not what I wanted to say. Oh, well, you know we goats tend to jump from one thing to another. The government paid for everything. Army fatigues, rations, weapons, lodging, and hookers, drugs. Do you know where that money comes from? Taxes! Your taxes, my dear friend. You helped them cut my legs. They declare war every chance they get, so that the weapon industry that finances their campaigns gets richer and richer and richer. And that's how we finance their wars. So the slightest connection with corruption turns us into accomplices. Unless one manages to keep at arm's length. That is what I did, my loyal disciple, at the Million-Star Hotel. So, do like your master, the great...
Hey, what's your name? You never told me... I'd prefer a yellow Cadillac, but I can't complain. He opened it during the war? That's odd. Have you remembered anything else about the moment you found Dunn's body?
I'm afraid not. It's too painful.
I know, but we need to find Bobby Yale. Anything, any minor detail, could really make a difference.
I'll try.
Have you remembered anything else about the moment you found Dunn's body?
I really can't remember anything. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I think that's it for now. See you around.
We'll miss you at Sam's Diner. Bye-bye.
Thanks, pal.
So, what else can you tell me about Dunn's death?
Well, not much. My memory's not what it used to be.
What was Joe Dunn like?
He was a decent man. Have you seen all those slogans on the wall? Those motivational phrases? Joe really believed in them. All of them.
I found an empty wine bottle on the rooftop. Did Joe Dunn drink?
Only for a while, back when his wife died. But eventually he quit. After that, he'd only drink on special occasions.
Joe Dunn or Joey Dunn?
Huh? Nobody called him Joey. Well, maybe his wife. Although, she didn't call him anything after she died.
He played the saxophone, right?
Yeah, pretty well for a white boy. But he quit when his wife died. Makes no sense, right? I mean, nothing draws chicks like the brass. Why quit when you're finally free? Ha 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 ha.
What can you tell me about Sonia Dunn?
She's hot, ain't she?
It seems like her father's death didn't really upset her.
Well, she likes to play it cool, which makes her really hot.
You two seem to get along nicely.
Well, I've known her since she was a baby. But she sure has grown, if you get my drift. I hadn't seen her since she left for college about 4 years ago.
Dunn wasn't black, but he allowed you and Bobby Yale to train here.
Yeah, this was the first integrated gym in the city, I think.
But not everyone liked that, hmm?
You've seen the graffitis, right? If I get my hands on that bastard...
Do you have any idea where Bobby Yale could be?
Not a clue.
I dropped by Bobby Yale's apartment. I think he might be involved with O'Leary, the bookmaker.
You sure? Yale had some dark years, no doubt, but Dunn turned him into a decent guy. I'm no detective, but I wouldn't follow that lead.
If Yale's gonna fight the reigning champion, he's got a big career ahead of him.
He hasn't lost a single fight since he turned pro. The little bastard beat the socks off me a few years back.
Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago?
Yeah, and his wife, Bobby's mom, died shortly after. Dunn is the closest thing the family the poor kids had ever since.
That explains the poetry book in his locker. You said Yale joined a gang back in the day? Know which one?
Hell, I don't know, John. This is New York City. There are more gangs than people.
I better let you get back to your drills.
All right. What the hell? Jake, give me one good reason not to smash in your face. What the hell are you doing in my locker?
I'm a detective. That's what I do.
Yeah, and my friend too. But that's what I thought.
Get off me.
Sometimes, John, I can just punch you.
Why do you have that pen, Jake? What mess are you in? Okay, Jake.
I told you.
Desmond O'Leary.
Huh?
I know you work for him.
Now you're just making stuff up. Why would you say that?
I saw the shamrock in your locker. I know what it means.
Okay, let's say you're right. So what? What are you gonna do, huh?
We're pals. I won't do a thing. But please, tell me the truth.
Okay, I guess I should have said something. Business isn't going that well lately. Natalia was my last well-paying job, and it's been a while. Then O'Leary shows up and offers me a bodyguard contract. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I understand.
Seriously, you don't seem like the type to accept shady office.
I'd never take a job like that. As a matter of fact, I turned one down today. But that's just me. I'm no one to judge.
Hey, O'Leary might run an illegal gambling operation, but it's not like he's killing people or conning widows. And I'm just a bodyguard. I make sure no one gets hurt. What I do, including my contract and paycheck, is 100% legal. How bad can that be?
O'Leary pays you with dirty money, and you're part of a criminal organization. There's no two ways about it. But that's not what bothers me. I know you're covering up O'Leary's role in Joe Dunn's death.
Huh? O'Leary? No way. I mean, I don't think so.
Jake, please.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it now. I was here the day Dunn died.
Go on.
I had to take care of some business for O'Leary. He makes me wear the shamrock when I work for him. As you know, I left the damn thing in my locker.
Say no more. You came in the back door.
How did you... Yeah, that's it. Joe had mentioned he'd been painting that afternoon, but I forgot. I stopped in my tracks when I saw him screaming bloody murder at Bobby Yale at the top of the scaffold.
What exactly was he saying?
Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again. I didn't want them to see me, so I left.
Jake, why didn't you tell me?
I thought you'd be pissed off.
Well, you were wrong.
I'm sorry, John. I should have said something.
You should have. Let's just say you owe me one, all right?
You sure drive a hard bargain, John. All right.
Time to go. I need to think about everything you just told me. Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know. Thank you, Mr. Blacksad.
Does the postman always leave your mail on the floor?
I don't know,
What's wrong?
It's my mother's wedding ring.
Who had it?
I don't know. My father wore it on his pinky finger after she died.
Not always, apparently.
Will you find out why?
I'll try. But there's something else I'm worried about. This might have something to do with with your father's death.
Oh my, yes. It could be. Will you please give me a moment?
Of course. Okay. Mary put the wedding ring in the envelope and wrote Sonia Dunn on it. But why did she have the ring in the first place? Were Mary Purnell and Joe Dunn an item? What if Mary's birthday is the combination to the safe?
Yes?
I I need to search your office.
Go on.
And there it was, Mary's birthday, a week prior to that very day.
You open the safe?
Yeah, and I think you need to see this. Can you tell me what it says?
All right. I think this might be useful for the investigation, Mr. Detective. He left everything to me, except some boxing trophies and knickknacks that'll go to Bobby Yale.
When was it signed?
It was written 4 years ago, just weeks after I moved to Buffalo.
Do you think Bobby Yale read it before he disappeared?
Maybe.
Congratulations. You're one lucky lady.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
All right. Thanks. You see, I've got this friend. He's a journalist, and the thing is, well, he would like to interview you.
Why?
A woman running a boxing gym? That's quite the story.
And how did this friend of yours find out, exactly?
I'm pretty sure he saw the,
I don't even want to hear you. I just hope you prove your professional worth before the day is over.
I never asked about the gym's insurance.
That's exactly what I'm reading now. So far, it looks like your standard small business policy.
What's in those papers you're going through?
Red tape.
Great. If you find something, please let me know.
I thought you were the detective. You do your job, and I'll do mine.
What can you tell me about Jake?
I thought you were friends. Guess I was wrong. He and my father were friends, so don't go down that road.
Did you get along with Bobby Yale? Okay. Forget it.
I wouldn't give a damn about him if it weren't for this stupid gym his stupid fight is supposed to save. Happy?
What do you think about Mary, the cleaning lady?
Can't say. I barely know her. And I'm not one who's quick to judge other people.
think I know who had your mother's ring.
You do?
Mary Purnell. I think she was in love with your father.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. That's it for now. I get it. You don't like me. But there's something you need to know.
I'm all ears.
I'll grow on you. You'll see.
Duly noted, Mr. Blacksad.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Do you remember anything else about Joe Dunn and Bobby Yale's argument?
No, not really, no. Only Joe yelling. If you do, I'll call off the fight and kick you out of the gym.
I know you're hiding something.
What?
You know what? You're the only woman who ever called Dunn Joey, except his late wife.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
Mary Purnell, the angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We've been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with, well, weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what he meant. Say no more. Paperwork.
He really hated it. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day and...
He tried to make you smile.
He pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
Which is where Dunn seduced you.
That word is a bit too much, Mr. Blacksad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day, so we began to spend more time together.
But you never told anyone. Why did you keep it secret?
For Sonia's sake. She and Joey drifted apart after her mother's death. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was. And we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So you asked him to marry you?
What? Please, I know better. He gave me the wedding ring and we decided to tell the world. He said he needed to share that happiness with his little girl. Turns out, he wasn't that happy after all.
What about you? How did you feel about telling Sonia?
Maybe you already noticed, I have a slight cold. I really should be heading home.
Too much coffee and fresh air?
Why? Why would you say that? I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Blacksad.
A few bucks. Just petty cash. I never would have taken Dunn for a gun owner. Did you find anything interesting in the...
Takes time, as I'm sure you know.
I don't know why. Something just doesn't add up. Did you know Joe Dunn had a gun in his safe?
No way, man. He hated firearms. Although... when Bobby Yale was a teenager, he went through a crazy phase. Even dropped out of the gym and joined the gang. Nothing serious. Early one morning, he broke in the gym. Joe was already here and caught him red-handed. Bobby pointed the gun at Dunn and ordered him to open the safe. So, Joe opened it and asked Bobby to put the gun aside, leave the gang and start boxing again. I got here 5 minutes later and found Bobby crying like a baby in Joe's arms. Then he just stood up and put on his gloves.
Damn. I'd forgotten that Jake used to work for Natalia. This proves I was right. It's too soon to move on. bastards. The proud South. Smells like paint. Of course. Arthur Tucker painted the racial slur on Yale's locker. Not all folks are as open-minded as Dunn. I happen to know who painted the lockers. Arthur Tucker.
I knew it! I knew it was him, that bastard. I'm gonna whip the white out of him.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
I'd prefer a yellow Cadillac, but I can't complain. You're gonna like what I have to tell you about the Dunn case. Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Life is often off key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John.
You look pretty tired yourself.
Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you all right?
Can we just talk about Dunn?
Okay, no problem. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You drank 2 huge glasses of water. How are your kidneys coping with that?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should go to the... If you'll excuse me.
Interesting.
Now I feel even thinner. So do my kidneys.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now... Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I'll try, but sometimes there's no alternative.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Friend, you can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnov had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite. I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least. Bobby Yale. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
A part of me thinks Bobby Yale didn't do it.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck. It all leads to him. In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
I'm afraid I have to say no. I can't ride in a fancy car with a wrinkled suit.
Oh, I don't see why not. In any case, if those little wrinkles make you uncomfortable... I always play it nice and safe. Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
I don't work with criminals like you.
Oh, I didn't expect you to play the morality card so soon. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
It's immoral, for starters.
Immoral? I'll tell you what's immoral. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country, a place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, I'm not either.
Ah, well then, you see, we're all among friends. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
Well, gambling is illegal.
Oh boy. Did you hear anything I just said? Anyway, when the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
You might have a point. In certain cases, civil disobedience is both right and duty.
Exactly. And when you hear just how I've transformed this business, you'll agree even more. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran this show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first. But when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
Yeah, the two of them.
Bastards. But don't you worry. I'll have a talk with those two. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. You see, a lot of people work for me. Many families depend on my business. Not only that, St. Christopher's Hospice practically lives on my donations. The widows of my late employees are set for life. Their kids get free schooling. The cops leave me alone because they know my business doesn't hurt anyone. On the contrary. And, it looks like we're here.
Yale's apartment?
I told you I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, maybe you'll change your mind and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Colbert! Wilson!
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Can't say this is the ideal drink for an athlete. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch.
Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
Ugh. 17th century French fables. Mayor must be one boring old lady. I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know. A woman's fragrance, almost angelical. Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? Why would you want such a big closet for so few clothes? Unless you're a bachelor, that is. means she's been here recently. But why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale, the murder suspect? must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off. When I left, I told O'Leary I hadn't found a thing. The minute I was alone, I left for Mary's. But before all that, I took a small parting gift for her. I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise? When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
So you knew that Yale was with Dunn when he died, and yet you told no one.
I guess I just forgot. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I know you were cheating on Dunn with Yale. Or was it the other way around?
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Blacksad.
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama?
Segregation. Health care, with far worse conditions for colored people.
We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That crap.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I'm black too, and I don't hide it.
Well, at least you're a man.
In any case, what's that have to do with Bobby Yale?
He's my nephew, Mr. Blacksad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The 3 of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. You should have told me this sooner.
I've been hiding it all my life. I'm sorry.
Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven, so I can't identify any other fragrances. TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times lead us? Fresh out of the oven. The whole room smells like pie. That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Thanks. I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived.
Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
Water's good, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth. Sorry, I was going to help you with that. Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared. Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog. Mary, when are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew's here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that. That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Leave or I'll...
Mary, please, calm down.
I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone!
Bobby!
Think about Mary, Bobby.
Don't even mention her name!
Bobby!
Call an ambulance. Do as I say. Go on, call an ambulance. Do it now. In the face of a heart attack, there's two things you can't forget. 1. Stay calm. 2. 1 chest compression per second. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. 6 Mississippi. 7 Mississippi. 8 Mississippi.
Bobby! Oh, Bobby! Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
I had lots of reasons to consider this a great day. I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life. And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
Promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
Bang, bang, bang!
A fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualty.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead meat, cat.
That you, Smirnoff?
You seem agitated. Nightmare?
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Yeah, that makes two of us. Anyway, why don't you go home? In his current condition, Yale's not going anywhere. Besides, we'll take it from here.
Who is that? Can we trust him?
I know how to pick my men, John. You? I'm not so sure. I asked you not to get involved, or at least give me a heads up.
If I hadn't intervened, Bobby Yale could be dead.
If you had warned me, maybe we could have avoided a heart attack. Anyway, what's done is done. When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn? Out of sheer curiosity. I'm a cop after all.
Well, it's pretty telltale when a suspect tries to kill you.
How about the motive? Any ideas?
I know Dunn wanted to call the fight off after something Yale did, but I still don't know what.
In any case, hopefully Yale will tell us more.
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
She's been through a lot in the past days. Be nice to her.
Of course. In spite of it all, we're not just vigilantes. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it.
I can't promise anything.
Tell the nurses to look at that face of yours. You look like a film detective in his last scene.
I'm afraid this film isn't over yet.
For your sake, I hope you're wrong. You're in charge now, officer.
Okay.
I'll send you relief in 6 hours. Understood?
Doctor.
Who are...
Oh, detective. Congratulations. You fared pretty well against that kid. Better than most would have. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Do I look like I fared well to you? We, as a society, simply don't trust reptiles. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is our extended belief that there's logic to that distrust, that it's natural and well-founded. How's Yale? Is he awake?
Oh, yeah. Go check on him before he falls asleep again. Although, try not to bother him with too many questions.
What's his current condition?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack after all.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this. Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift. His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying, but that's not the case. He's clenching his fist, a sign of contained anger. Clenched fist, fast heart rate, fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but I saved your life, son.
Maybe my aunt feels gratitude. I certainly don't. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Is he lying, or did his heart rate speed up out of rage? Is he holding back his rage? He can't look me in the eye. I'd say he's lying. Why did you kill Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
I know Dunn threatened to call off the fight. Why?
How do you know that?
I'm a detective.
That was his anger talking. He never really meant it.
It doesn't matter. Why was he so mad at you? What did you do?
Nothing. Joe thought that I wasn't training hard enough. That I was going to lose.
All right. Let's just say that I believe you. The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. Then he put the chest expander box in your locker to frame you. Do you know anyone that twisted and who also happens to have a motive?
I don't know.
Desmond O'Leary certainly seems twisted enough. Did he have anything against Dunn?
I'm not sure if they knew each other. At least not in person. About a month ago, Joe kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym. He was trying to give a business card to...
Jake Ostiambi.
Yeah, exactly. Did Jake tell you about that?
Something like that. What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me. Maybe it was... What am I saying? Jake could never pull off something like that. Nothing. Never mind. What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a boxing managers association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager, or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status, that Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice. And Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
Poor Cassidy.
Blacksad, I think I owe you an, You know, my father disappeared when I was 6, right after winning a fight. We never heard from him again. Do you know what that does to a kid? Who knows where I'd be if Joe Dunn hadn't been in my life? Even when I lost my way and put a gun to his head years later, he still took me under his wing and managed to steer me in the right direction. And now that he's gone, you're risking your life to find his murderer. Thanks.
You're welcome. The hands say a lot about what's going on inside a person. Is that eye movement normal? He seems restless. Should I tell someone? The number of cigarette butts is inversely proportional to my hours of sleep. Ah, damn.
See? There's no fever whatsoever. He must be having a nightmare.
Are you sure?
Wouldn't you have nightmares too after what he went through yesterday? I know I sure wouldn't sleep.
If that's a nightmare, he only has himself to blame.
Oh, the poor thing. Do you know what my nightmare is? It's that witch I have to work with. Oh, good thing she's got trauma. on a surgery at 12:30, but I wish it were a little sooner, you know? Anyway, thank you for letting me know, and for bringing him in. You don't know how excited I am to be involved in a criminal case.
It might not be important, but I need to take a look at his medical report.
Dunn's Gym. Jake Ostiombe speaking.
Jake, it's Blacksad. Could you get...
I have work to do, John. Call you later. Ronald, get on that ring!
Hi.
You're awake, handsome?
I'll take a pack of Morleys, please.
Honey, get me a pack of Morleys for Mr. Handsome.
Yale's medical report is right there. Mind if I take a look?
No, I don't think so, handsome.
What if you show me Yale's report and I buy you dinner?
You're handsome, all right. But I'm not stupid.
I won't be able to read Yale's medical report if she's around. It seems like the Doe nurse will be assisting Dr. Talbot during his 12:30 surgery. In 4 hours. Could I get them to operate any sooner? Jerry Highfill. Long time no see.
Blacksad, I didn't want to wake you. How's the boy?
Asleep.
I hope he recovers in time for the fight. I got tickets. Although between you and me, he doesn't stand a chance. It'll be a fun bout, nonetheless. Not like this. God, this is boring.
You say you've got a good job.